You found the Sales Hunter podcast. I'm Mark Hunter. And the question is, how come top performers have a way of closing more deals? I'll tell you why. It's because they ask better questions. And in today's episode, I'm going to share with you 7 things they do extremely well. And you know what? You can do them too. That's right. The topic today, how top sales performers use questions to close more deals. The show begins right now.
You're listening to the Sales Hunter Podcast with Mark Hunter, where the focus is to help you as a sales leader sell with confidence and integrity. And now here's your host.
Hey, we're talking again today about top performers and how they use better questions to close more deals. But before I do that, I want to say thank you. Thank you to you, the listener. iTunes has named us the number one new sales podcast for 2022. That's pretty significant. That's pretty cool. We want to say thank you. And hey, to show you thanks, drop down to the show notes. There's a link down there to take you to a new prospecting book that we have. And by the way, have I spoken to your sales team? Have I been part of your sales meeting? If I haven't, got to reach out. Let's talk. Let's make it happen because this is sales kickoff season. Okay, we're talking right now today. How come top performers have a way of closing more deals? And I'll tell you what, one of the ways they do it is because they ask better questions. I'm going to share with you 7 things they do, and you can do them too. Number 1, they always ask the follow-up question. So important. You go into a sales call and you got these questions you want to ask, and you ask one and they answer it, then boom, you go to the next. No, stop. Whatever it is they share with you, ask them a follow-up question. This is absolutely key, and I'm going to get to more of that here in just a bit. But number 2 is you do that by asking short questions. Short questions get you long answers. Think about this for a moment. You ask somebody, why? Tell me more. Could you give me another example? Could you explain that a little further? Those are short questions that get you long answers. And here's the whole flip side of that. Number 3, don't go asking long questions as they get you short answers. Here's what too many average salespeople do. They ask these long, complicated questions, and then the customer goes, I don't understand. And you get no response whatsoever. Now, you see how easy this is? It's not hard. It's 1, always ask the follow-up question. But here's what really drives it home. It's number 4. I should have made this point in number 3. But it's always drill down at least 3 times. What do I mean by this? Okay, so I ask you a question, you're the customer, and I say, hey, tell me more. Could you give me another example? And you share with me again. And then I ask another question built on that. Now, I don't ask the same question, but that's fascinating. Is that something you've been seeing occurring a lot lately? And let them share. And then you ask it again. See, you drill down 3 times, because what happens is when you drill down 3 times, you are showing an incredible level of interest in the customer. And the customer sees this. The customer picks up on this. And the customer then automatically begins to build more trust with you. Now, here's what's very interesting. This means that you have to be a little prepared that the sales call might go a little bit sideways. But see, the top performer is confident. They know that the sales call could go sideways and they can bring it back in. And that takes me to number 5. Number 5 is link everything you hear on one sales call to a question you ask on the next sales call. This creates trust at a very high level. And this is what top performers excel in. I may be talking to you, and you may be sharing with me one critical concern. Well, we're really concerned about competition in this particular market. So they share with you that on one sales call. So you come back on the next, hey, last time when we were together, you mentioned that you were really concerned about the competitive landscape in this particular market. What's changed? Anything changed? You see, what is that doing? That's telling the customer a couple things. Hey, you listened. Top performers listen. And that tells them that you're concerned about it. What do? They share with you more insights. But when I can link information from one sales call to another sales call by way of a question, it's amazing at what happens. Okay, number 6, when prospecting, your questions must link to their industry or to themselves. It's You have to start the process by drilling down on their issues. And this isn't the time to throw out softball questions. How are things going for you? No. Top performers don't do that. They drill down specific. Say, there's new regulations that are coming out affecting this, or what's happening over here with this company over here, whatever it is. But you have to be able to link it to something current and relevant to them. And worst case is you don't sell yourself. You see, top performers know that there'll be plenty of time to sell themselves, but they first have to get you engaged with a prospect. And that's by asking you questions relative to your industry. And that's how they start off the prospecting process with. Number 7, so I shared with you one prospecting. Here's closing. And this is money in the bank. When delivering your value proposition to close the deal, you must tie it in with a question wrapped around the benefit outcome that they're looking for. Now stop and think about this. This is the home run. This is the money one. You might say, hey, we've been able to put together this plan. And help me understand something. You had said that the most critical issue you're facing is this. Is that still the case? Now, you see, I can ask a yes or a no question in this. And now, again, top performers don't like asking yes or no, but they do know that there's a time. And there's a time because now what I'm doing is I'm getting you, the customer, to think about the outcome, about the benefit you're looking for. But I got you thinking about it by asking you a question. That is money in the bank. Okay, what I did was I just shared with you 7 quick techniques to help you up the game with your questions. Because what is it all about? I want you to become a top performer. Hey, drop down to the link also. Go out to the website, the Sales Hunter University, because we've got some new top performing courses out there that I want you to be taking advantage of. And hey, I want to say thank you for listening to this episode of the Sales Hunter podcast. Hey, each week you get 2 episodes, one a short episode like this, and later in the week, you get a more in-depth interview with a leading expert in the sales industry. I do hope you like the Sales Hunter podcast. And hey, would you do me a favor? Leave us a review, please. We really need reviews, whether it's Spotify, whether it's iTunes, however you get it. But it really helps tell others that this is a podcast they need to listen to. So with that, I want to say thank you very much. And the Sales Hunter podcast is the place where you can count on getting quick insights and strategies to help you sell more effectively. I'm Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter.